Yo. Well, there we go. Had a little echo thing going on. What's going on, family? Welcome to the Tariq Elite Show live view stream. It's Sunday, and I'm chilling. My hands feel a little crispy right now. Speaking of crispy, y'all like the shirt. If you don't have your crispy shirt, you need to go to cafepress.com/crispypuppet to get your shirt. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of those crispy shirts are selling like hotcakes. Apparently, a lot of people like the crispy shirts. They love the crispy gear, the crispy puppet. You dig? Let me give y'all the link to that. Let me allow links so people can go get their crispy shirts. www.cafepress.com/crispypuppet. There you go. That's where y'all can get your crispy shirts. Get that right now, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. What up, everybody? So how's everybody doing tonight, man? Again, this show is going to, I'm going to stop right before 9 o'clock. I got a lot of shows I need to catch up on as far as television. So a lot of my favorite shows are coming on tonight. So we're going to chop up a lot of good game until 9. So we got to keep everything concise and tight and fly, ladies and gentlemen. Let me do a real quick roll call. Tariq, King Maurice, Jari B, Business, Champion Gear, Blue Man, Curtis, James, Division, Miss Flo Mentals. A lot of folks in the house. People are piling in the room as we speak. Is the game, what's up, Blue? Is the game still on? I know the game was on earlier, so a lot of people might still be watching the game. There's a lot of great shows coming on tonight, too. So, a lot of people will catch this show on the taped playback, but we're still going to chop up some good game while we are here, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of stuff we got to talk about. First of all, join me in Los Angeles next Saturday. If you are in SoCal, if you're in San Diego, Orange County, Riverside, wherever you are in Los Angeles, I'm going to be out here. We're doing a screening. Well, they're doing a screening. Some brothers and sisters are promoters, and they got a nonprofit organization down in L.A., and they're having it at the Church of Scientology. Now, some people are like, why are you having it at the Scientology church? It's them. They're putting it together, and, I guess they got some kind of connection with the auditorium there. It's a very nice venue from what I understand, and in that area, that's really the only place that has a nice venue from what I understand. But there's some other brothers and sisters that are putting that together. And that's going to be early next Saturday. It's going to be like at 12 noon. So it's going to be early in the daytime. People can come on out. Not too early in the morning where you got to get on up and all that old stuff. But come on out. We're going to have a screening and a lecture after that. And it's free to get in and all that good stuff. So I want everybody to come on down and chop up game with me. It's going to be real hot fire. What's the story on who? Hold on. Let me fix this because there's a lot of stuff. Oh, what's the story on Farrah being on the cover of the Automatic? Well, I was friends with her and her cousin. Her cousin is on there too. So I was friends with them back in the day, and I just asked them to get on it. They were just friends of mine. It keeps saying offline for you, S. Franklin. Some people said like last week I kicked them off the show or whatever. I didn't ban anybody last week. So, I don't know what happened. Now, let me say this. If cats were probably trolling under like some screen name or some shit and got banned, that's probably why. But I don't think I banned anybody last week. That's what's up, Rob. We're going to have those Melanoid Nation shirts popping off pretty soon in the next couple of weeks. People will be able to get those Melanoid Nation shirts. And I want to talk about the Melanoid Nation website and things going on as far as that a little later on the show. But the Melanoid Nation website will be up in a couple of days, actually. It'll be up in a couple of days. I will be telling somebody's calling right now. This person's been calling for a minute. What's up? Who's calling?
Tariq Nasheed. This is Kwame McNeil calling from Springfield, Illinois.
Kwame McNeil, how you doing, family?
I'm doing real good, man. I just had a question because my design team is designing a clothing line for me, and we're about to wrap in probably about 2 weeks, and we're designing a cologne to come along with it.
Yeah.
I was just asking, as far as you going to France and Europe and all of that, how did you go about getting a cologne and a manufacturer for that? Because I'm thinking about Italy. My uncle lived in Italy for quite a while, and he used to send me samples of Italian cologne, and I was interested in going about doing that. And I was just wondering, how do you chop up game with manufacturers overseas?
Man, a lot of times, man, because sometimes it's kind of difficult to find some things online, but it's easier now. But a lot of times when you go places and just chop up game with folks, man, they're overseas, man, you'll be surprised how open people are. They don't have the same level of racism here. People will give up the game a little bit when you go to other spots. And they'll be glad to do business with you. That's why I always talk about Michael Jackson going to Japan and cutting that deal with the Japanese, a deal that he would not have gotten here. That's why they offed him. But when you go around to different countries and just chop up game with folks, they'll give you the game. They'll let you know who's manufacturing this. They just want some paper. They're down for the paper. So just going to places, that's one option. That's what I like to do because I like to travel anyway. But also just getting on the phone and getting online and looking at wholesaling sites and talking and corresponding with different wholesalers and see if they can give you some names of some other people. Now that might be a difficult thing too, to pry a name out of them, because sometimes you'll talk to somebody who's a wholesaler, but they're getting it manufactured through somebody else and they're upping the price. So again, you just have to talk to several people and try to get as many leads and names as you can. But it's easy to do. And with my cologne line, I wanted to my niche, because there's so many colognes out there, I wanted to do something that nobody else was doing, which was bringing actual cologne from France, because France is known for their fragrances. So that was the thing that put mine out there, and all of the cologne that we had sold out, and people are still asking for it, and we were selling it like for $100 something a bottle. And I'm gonna come out with a new fragrance pretty soon. But when you create that niche market, that's going to, and plus it smelled good too. That was another thing too. I made sure that it wasn't no bullshit that we just threw together and said, hey, buy this. We made everything different. We made it fly. We made sure the fragrance was real tight, and people liked the fact that they couldn't get it nowhere else. You understand? It was a very unique fragrance that you could be unique in wearing, because a lot of cats would hit me up talking about all the play they got wearing that cologne because nobody never smelled it before. So I'm just giving you a little different marketing tips and ways to really get your stuff on out there. And with the internet, man, you can market your stuff a million different ways. But again, we need to take baby steps. Like I said, either go to some of these places or correspond with wholesalers online. And there are different sites where you can find wholesalers like Alibaba's, websites like that, and just chop up game with them. And email me. We'll chop up some more game, and we'll see what we can put together for you if we can find some names and leads.
Would I be able to hit you at kingflexforlife.com and let you know some extra things? Yes, I really appreciate the game that you're giving me, man. And I really appreciate that.
No doubt, man. Yeah. The website is kflexforlife at yahoo.com.
Like I was saying, the Italian thing was really nice, and it was really authentic smelling.
Yeah.
Smelling that stuff from over there. And I was, thinking about going the same way as far as creating something that when you put it on, you know that it's going to be authentic. And when you try to push up on the breezy, she's going to smell you. And no, I've never smelled this before.
Indeed.
So
yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right, man, let me get some of these other calls, man. Thanks for the call, fam. There you go. Yes, indeed. But I'm going to have a new fragrance coming out pretty soon, because I'm going to go over there to Europe pretty soon, too. Me and my lady, we've been wanting to go over to Venice, Italy. She's never been to Rome. I've been to Rome. But we might go over there and do some politicking and all that good stuff. And also, I'm doing research, doing all my background work and brainstorming for Hidden Colors 4. Because, we got to do a Hidden Colors 4. Everybody's asking about that now. And the thing is, I don't rush. I really take my time and brainstorm about what I'm going to put together. And I want to chop up game with the fam about that. With Hidden Colors 4, what are some of the topics that we should cover in Hidden Colors 4? One thing, I do want to talk more about health. There's some other things that we want to talk about, but I want to chop up game with the fam and see what are some of the things that people would like to know. And again, a lot of this stuff, it's all new, but, you know, another thing too, we're going to talk a lot more about Africa, ancient Africa, and what's going on in Africa today. I want to talk about that in Hidden Colors 4. We're definitely going to talk about health. Yeah, food too. That's real talk. We're on a lot of times we're on the same page, and that's a great thing, because sometimes cats hit me up like on Twitter, hey man, Hidden Colors 4, man, y'all need to talk about this. And we're already be in the process of researching that. So, yeah. So we want to talk about that. They talk about Jay Slim's poems. You know what? When I was last week, I looked up Jay Slim after I did the show about Jay Slim. Speaking of Boule, let me get on that in a minute. Now, let me talk. Speaking of Boule, I'll get on that in 1 second. There's something I want to talk about that. But for Jay Slim, you know, I looked up, I'm like, what's going on with Jay Slim? Because, you know, we haven't heard from him. Jay Slim used to call the show all the time and be up in the chat room all the time. And we were kind of clowning last week. I found Jay Slim's Facebook page. Jay Slim's ass got a lady. That dude, he got cupcaked up. That's what I knew something was up, because we haven't heard from him. So he was putting out all them poems. Jay Slim was campaigning, and he finally got elected. So he got him a nice little breezy. She seems like a real nice young lady. She was a little short lady. And then he seems happy as hell. So Jay Slim, man, congratulations on you and your lady. Shout out to you and your queen, brother. That's what's up, man. Love is a wonderful thing. Love is a wonderful thing, Jay Slim. Because them poems were getting kind of scary, brother. And my nigga is cupcaking. Jay Slim is cupcaking so hard in them pictures. Jay Slim, if you're listening, man, hit me up, Jay Slim, if you're in here, brother. And I hope y'all get married. And if y'all get married, I'm going to buy gifts for both of y'all. For her, I'm going to get her a bulletproof vest. Just in case your ass get back into that rapey poem mode. Let me get her a bulletproof vest and a rape whistle. Just in case you get a little feisty. Shout out to Jay Slim, though. Man. Yeah, the little short girl saved Jay Slim's life. Jay Slim was about to pull out the chloroform on a chick, man. So I'm glad he got him in a little relationship. Yeah, the number to the show is 818-850-5404. And, you know, in Hidden Colors 3, we talked about black secret societies very briefly, but I didn't name the Boule. Because that's my thing. I've always been kind of ambivalent about that. Because I don't want to use the Hidden Colors Forum to paint an unjust picture of the Boule. Because the Boule is not a bad organization. But you do have funny style people within that. You understand what I'm saying? There's some funny style shit that's going on within that. Whereas you got that in a lot of different groups. So that's one thing. That's one way one reason why I haven't been so gung-ho about, the Boule. I know all about them. Trust me, man. I've done a lot of research on them. And all of the brothers and sisters in the Boule are not bad. Like Jack and Jill, all of them are not bad. But again, we got to be very honest. The white supremacists have always used brothers and sisters within the Boule to kind of keep tabs on the black community. You dig? And speaking of Boule, there's a guy, we mention his books all the time here. Lawrence Otis Graham. If you listen to the show, you'll hear us talking about him. Lawrence Otis Graham. He's written several books. A good writer, very good writer. And I respect the brother's honesty. But he's a Boule member. And he has written books kind of bragging about the Boule. What's up, Go Mac? Oh, yeah, the crispy shirt is what's hot in the streets right now. Yeah, shout out to Steve Coakley. We were going to have Steve Coakley in one of the Hidden Colors movies, but he died. And that's another thing, man. I like to get some of these cats before they, because for years I wanted to get Bobby Hemmett, and Bobby Hemmett has had a stroke, so he can't really do lectures like that no more. You dig? I'm going to talk about the elections too, brother man. Remind me of that. I'm going to talk about those elections too. But Lawrence Graham, yeah, Our Kind of People is the name of the book. I got that book right over there. It's a good book. And he really gives a very honest insight on black, these black elitist organizations and how much they control. Well, let me use the word not control, because they don't really control anything. But many of them are gatekeepers within the black community. Because I was about to say control, but they don't really control anything, because their whole thing, what's up, player? Their whole thing is getting good jobs and, which is fine, it's fine. But they kind of want to be under the white supremacists to a certain degree. Not all of them, but a lot of them, they're on that, I'm the first black lawyer to be at this firm. I was the first black person to be elected to Senate here. That's their whole thing. Yeah, they're like watchdogs. Nothing really, man. They're just really like watchdogs for the black community. And Lawrence Graham, he's done many books and articles. I remember there was an article he did back in '92 about him trying to get accepted into this all-white golf club, this very exclusive golf club. They wouldn't let black members in. So what he did, he posed as a busboy, making $7 an hour, and he was kind of ear hustling. And, they were so racist, they would refer to black folks as Negro. And this was in '92. I mean, they had a room for the black employees called the Monkey House. And they were just like, it was just straight up white supremacists. And this dude sounds like he wanted to be a part of that. He was upset that he couldn't be a part of that. But Lawrence Graham has written books talking about the Boule and the Black Secret Societies and these elite organizations and their prestigious awards and all of this stuff. And a lot of these Boule organizations, they go out of their way to not associate with the masses of other black people. And Lawrence wrote a story about his son. He has a son who's 15. He was talking about recently, his 15-year-old son is going to this prestigious school. He's the only black kid at this prestigious school. He wears nice Brooks Brothers suits and blazers and well-groomed and perfect diction. And his son was walking on the campus. Some white dudes pulled up and said, "Hey, are you the only nigger at this school?" They called his son a nigger. And his son was kind of, shook up about it. And, his son went and told his dad, and the dad called the school, and the school basically couldn't do anything. So he wrote this article about how hurt he was, and that was one of his greatest fears. And he looked like Lawrence Graham was trying to get some kind of sympathy because his son was called a nigger. But he was like, the whole article was like, I thought that my money and my elite status could shield me from racism. He basically got a nigga wake-up call. My man basically got what Paul Mooney said is the nigga wake-up call. And I say shame on Lawrence Graham for not giving his son the game. So he wants sympathy now. And a lot of people are like, wait a minute, Lawrence, hold on now. The white supremacist lottery pulled his number because Lawrence, he's one of those dudes. He went out of his way to I'm not like them. He's kind of one of those kind. And I'm not trying to disparage the brother, but he's like, well, I'm not like those guys. I'm one of the good ones. Give me some of those benefits. You dig? And it's like, I can't play the violin for you, bruh. He says it's hard to believe that his son's first time being called a nigga. Yeah. Hey, man, I can't. My daughter is about to be 15 in December, and my daughter's never been called a nigga. Because we were talking, me and my lady were talking about it, You know, people calling you nigga because you know I got called a nigga by white kids in Birmingham when I moved there as a kid, and you know my daughter's like, nobody never called me a nigga before, and but I give her the game though. You understand what I'm saying? I give her the game so when that does happen, she's not gonna get bent out of shape. You understand what I'm saying? I give her the game. I'm not gonna sit up and tell her that you ain't like those people. When I don't play that little silly game. I let her know that we all in the same boat. And the white supremacist lottery can get all of us. We live in a system called white supremacy, so all of us are subjected to that at any given moment. Even though we live in a nice spot, we live in a nice home, we live in a very nice neighborhood. Don't think the system of white supremacy cannot affect us. This is why we got to stay on top of our game. Don't be fooled. So I give my kid the game. And Lawrence Graham, I don't know why he's acting shocked. I don't know why this dude is acting shocked that they ran up and called his kid a nigga just because he was dressed nice and he can articulate himself. Because the thing is, I haven't seen Dear White People yet. I want to check it out. The thing is, that's the problem with too many black people. We think that the white supremacists, they've convinced us that we're doing something to make them want to call us that and treat us that way. So we go around talking that coon train. What about black on black crime? And we just stop doing this black on black crime. They'll stop calling us nigga. We do that goofy song and dance, that cowardly bullshit. And that's why I clown dudes who get down like that. The white supremacists are going to do exactly what they want to do. And you got an option to protect yourself from that, link up with other brothers and sisters to create a base to shield yourself from that with other brothers and sisters who are aware, not just because you're an elitist, you put on a tuxedo and go to these little banquets every now and then and kind of bullshit and shuck and jive and brag about how many good jobs y'all have and all that. No, you got to protect yourself practicing a level of group economics so that doesn't affect you in a negative way. That's not going to jeopardize your quality of life. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, they lynch black people in suits. So what do you do when your parents are bedwenches and coons? Well, hey, sometimes the same thing you would do if your parent was a crackhead. Do you pick up the pipe? No, you don't pick up the pipe. You don't have to do exactly what your parents are doing. You want to do better than your parents. That's the name of the game. I want my children to do better than me. You dig? So that's the thing. But Lawrence Graham, that wake up call is ironically funny. That's funny that he would get that wake up call. And again, that's something that we don't want. You know, when my children go to school, that's the last thing I want. I don't want no little mini white supremacists, one of these kids that y'all saw a few weeks ago for Halloween putting on blackface. You dig? Because they're out there. So you got to give your kid the game so they know what time it is. So when they hear that, they know how to react to it and they don't internalize that. That's one reason why the word nigger was being used within the black community to shield the venom from black children. So what black people did, they made the word, and some people agree or disagree, but you can disagree or agree or whatever, but it is what it is. When black people knew that the dominant white supremacists were going to use that word on them, it was going to be very vicious when they did it. So black people would use it among themselves as a term of endearment to take some of the venom out. Like, you my nigga. So when a kid heard it, it's not going to be, he ain't going to trip too hard. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, gentrification, that's a good one. Oh yeah, with that young people, and that's another thing, James. A lot of folks get on this whole shit. Well, the white supremacists are just the old racists. That ain't it, man. That's another thing. People try to pass white supremacy off on the old white supremacists. That ain't shit. you got kids. You saw Halloween, all these young white supremacists walking around in blackface in their teens, and some of them like 11 and 12 years old. They're not old. Now there's a new movie. My man Omar Dorsey is in it. That Selma movie about Dr. King. I want to see that. That looks pretty good. I want to see that. That movie about Selma. That looks pretty good. I know Oprah is in that, so I would like to see that. I like to peep that out. Did y'all see that there's a World Star video going around. This girl got slapped on the train. Did y'all see? Let me see if I can find that video real quick. This girl was in New York. Shout out to my brothers and sisters in New York. Shout out to New York. I feel for New York, man, because y'all, when y'all ride the trains in New York, man, y'all gotta just see the most vile, crazy shit. My heart goes out to my New York brothers and sisters. Sometimes you just want to go home and you see the craziest shit on the trains in New York. And it's always something crazy, ratchet. And a lot of brothers and sisters in New York are just used to it. You dig? But my heart goes out to you. But man, a lot of people saying she earned that slap. And I've even seen some of the fake feminists on the Negro bedwench feminists, not the fake ones, the pretend feminists, try to defend that, talking about no matter, just because a woman hits you don't mean you should hit her back and all this. And dude, this girl is on the train. Let me find the link. First of all, this little hood rat, and this is another thing too. I wish people stopped trying to make hood rats the representatives for black women. They are not. On train. This woman ain't got nothing to do with no black female. This woman ain't got nothing to do with no black woman at all. This is just a hood rat. Let me see if this is a good point. Okay, this one. All right, this is it. Let me download this and play it real quickly. Hold on. But that's the thing, man. People always try to associate ratchetness with black females, and that ain't it. That's not the business. Because these hood rats out here, they do not represent black womanhood at all. These ratchets don't represent black womanhood at all. These are hood rats. They should be treated as such. But this girl is on a train. Hold on, let me find the video. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. She's on the train, talking mad shit. And again, these little hood rats, because law enforcement has given them like diplomatic immunity. I've talked about that before. The hood rat mentality is like the plantation mentality, which is very similar to the bedwench mentality, because the hood rat and the bedwenches, they kind of think alike to a certain degree. But the hood rats know ain't no white dude gonna try to fuck them. Unless they're on the track somewhere. But they still get these little plantation privileges. Just like the bedwenches on the plantation. Certain bedwenches would get these little privileges within the plantation where they can talk greasy and just do all types of things without any kind of impunity. So, let me convert it real quickly. So they can do things with impunity. That's what I meant. But this dude slapped the shit out of this chick. And there was some dude, I think some gay guy with them. And that's another thing. You see that on the internet a lot. These women, they'll have their gay male friend with them co-signing that. And this girl, and these girls look like, I don't know if they're teens or whatever, but she had her little friends co-signing her little bullshit. And I talk to my daughter about this all the time. I tell my daughter all the time, because we live in LA, and I tell my daughter, don't be out here in the streets talking crazy to people you don't know. It's that simple. You don't know who's out here, especially some dude. Talking crazy to some dude out here that you don't know, some random stranger. You don't know what these people are capable of. You don't know if somebody just got out of jail on a bid. You don't know. So being out here in the streets just talking reckless to different people because you think, well, hell, I'm a girl, so ain't nobody supposed to hit me. Well, you ain't supposed to do a lot of shit, but people do it. You ain't supposed to smoke crack, but people do it. So just walking around here like you are some type of substitute white supremacist where you can just kind of get away with shit just because she should have known better. And this was probably this girl's first time getting slapped like this. It was probably her first time getting slapped. So let me show the video right now for those who have not seen it. Hold on one second. Let me bring it over here. All right. This is the video in New York of this girl getting slapped on the train. Ladies and gentlemen. Hold on one second. All right. This is it. Hold on. Wait. Okay, the sound was like, hold on. You couldn't hear the sound on there, could you? Hold on. Wait 1 second. I couldn't hear the sound. Okay. I couldn't hear the sound on there for some reason. Could y'all hear the sound? No audio? Hold on. Let me try this. Okay, that's weird. Hold on. I don't know why there's no audio on that. Hold on 1 second. That's weird. Let me see something. I don't know why. Okay. Let me try downloading that again. Hold on. Let me try something else. That's the first time that ever happened. I don't know why the audio wasn't on that, but let me try something else. Let me try something else, fam. Let me try something else. Let's see if this works. Okay, that didn't work either. Okay. All right, that's weird. All right, let me, hold on. Having technical difficulties here. Let me try this again. Let me try downloading it again. All right, hold on. I'll let it download and then we'll see what we can do with it. That was real weird. Yeah, I'm gonna play it on here, but yeah. The dude slapped the taste out that girl's mouth, and some other dude came up and tried to defend her, and then the dude beat the other dude down. I'm like, God. So you see, hood rats cause all types of damn commotions. That's why, man, I say, dudes, leave hood rats alone and avoid hood rats at all costs. They just bring nothing but trouble and destruction, and they do not represent black females at all. They do not. Delete that. All right, let me see. Let me convert this real quick. It'll take a couple of seconds. Yeah, hood rats always causing commotions. Hood rats stay causing commotions, man. You dig? And don't forget, man. Don't forget, next Saturday, out here in Los Angeles, y'all join me. We're having a lecture and a screening of Hidden Colors 3. We're going to chop up game after that. So join me if you're out here in SoCal so we can chop up some good game. And don't forget to get your crispy shirt right now at cafepress.com/crispypuppet. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh yeah, these crispy shirts are selling like hotcakes. These crispy shirts are selling like crazy. All right, now let me find this video. Let me see if this works. If this don't work, just the hell with it. All right. Convert it. Hold on 1 second. Converted videos. Converted. All right, let's see if this works, fam. 1 second. All right, let's see if this works. Okay, I don't know why it's not. Okay, that's weird. I don't know why it's doing that. When I try to convert it, I mean, I don't know why it's doing that. So file. That's weird as hell. All right. Okay, I guess I can't play it. So, but you guys can click that link and check it out. Y'all can click that link and check it out. I wish I could have played it for you, but it is what it is. But that's the link. Old dude slapped the taste out of girl's mouth. Yeah, hey, I don't know. I don't want to waste too much time clicking and popping and all that old stuff. Did y'all hear? Now y'all remember, and I talked about this on my Facebook page. There was a sister. She was at a graduation, and the sister was breastfeeding her infant. I think she was like 25 years old, and she had a baby while in college, and she graduated, and she was at graduation sitting down, and she was breastfeeding her child. And people they had a real adverse reaction to that. And people were calling her hood rat, and the white supremacist websites were all up on it, like, oh, this is the problem with these and nigger bitches. And oh, they had a field day on this woman breastfeeding her kid at graduation. Controversial picture. This woman is making people uncomfortable. I mean, they went out of their way to disparage this woman. Now, last week, not even last week, a few days ago, there's another picture that came out of a white woman at graduation. She was graduating, had her cap and gown on, and she's breastfeeding her kid. Now, the headlines are much different. Now, it's so adorable. Precious picture of a woman breastfeeding her child. Adorable picture. Oh, they gush on it. They're just gushing over this picture of the white woman doing the same exact thing. These are the pictures back to back. So yeah, all the headlines were totally. What the black woman did, it was controversial, uncomfortable, disturbing. But when the white lady did it, it's adorable, cute, awesome. Motherhood is great. This is why when black folks run up talking that we need to stop, we need to pull our pants up. When black folks talk all that, dude. No matter what you do, it doesn't matter. You live in a system of white supremacy, dude. You're judged differently. You can try to escape that fact as much as you can, but as black people living in a system of white supremacy, you're simply judged differently. So what are you going to do about that? Sitting up playing this little goofy ass game, well, black folk, if we just do this, if we keep doing something to stop white supremacy, that ain't going to happen. That's like a dog chasing his damn tail. What we need to do is get codes of conduct to protect ourselves from that. Because see, right now, man, we're in a stage of white supremacy that's very vicious right now. And let me show y'all this clip of this news story out of Minnesota. And this is how vicious white supremacy is getting right now. And just straight up and down, blatant and deceptive. There is a mayor in Minnesota. I think she's running for re-election. The mayor was going in the community, campaigning, registering people to vote. And there was one brother, a black guy. And I get the guy I think back in the day, the guy had a couple of charges on him. But he's turning his life around. He's out here with the mayor, trying to help black folks in the community register to vote. This brother's doing the right thing. Nigga, this story sounds like some shit from The Onion. Because a lot of people thought it was a fake story, but it's a real story. So the brother is with the mayor, and they're out here trying to register people to vote. That's all they're doing. Him and the mayor, they take a picture, And they're like, hey, let's take a picture. And they're like, okay. And they're just kind of awkwardly pointing at each other. Like, when you take a picture, you don't know what to do with your hands. So you're like, So him and the mayor, they're pointing at each other. Do you know these dirty, deceptive, low-down white supremacists who run that station got on the news talking about she was throwing up gang signs and she's putting the police life in danger by co-signing gangs? I'm about to run the story right now. If you think I'm bullshit, it's called Pointergate. This is such blatant white supremacy. That's just deceptive, dirty, and low down. When they start doing stuff like that, they're doing that because they see these niggas are powerless, so we can portray them any way we want to now. Look at this.
Law enforcement sources alerted us to a photo that has them fuming over the actions of Minneapolis Mayor Betsy Hodges.
They want to know why the mayor would take a picture with a convicted criminal while he and the mayor flash gang signs. 5 Eyewitness News reporter Jay Coles obtained that photo and explains why officers think the mayor has put the public and police at risk. It's a story you'll see only on 5.
This is a photo of Minneapolis Mayor Betsy Hodges arm in arm with a man flashing what law enforcement agencies tell us is a known gang sign for a North Side gang. Court records show the man with the mayor has several recent convictions, including 2 felonies for selling and possessing drugs and illegal possession of a gun. He is currently...
I got to pause 1 second. What gang sign is this? It ain't Crip. It ain't Blood. It ain't Vice Lord. It ain't Folks. It ain't MS-13. What gang sign is this? This is a real news channel. They're dead. This is a real news story, dude. This is a gang sign. What gang is this?
He's sentenced to 5 years in prison, but won't serve that time if he stays out of trouble for the next 3 years.
Anger, frustration. She's putting cops at risk.
Michael Quinn retired after 30 years as a police officer. 25 of those years were spent with Minneapolis police, where he also managed the internal affairs unit.
The fact that they're flashing gang signs back and forth at each other, showing solidarity with the gangs, she's legitimizing what they're doing. She's legitimizing these people that are killing our children in Minneapolis. And I just don't get it. It hurts.
Law enforcement sources tell us they found this photo on the man's Facebook page while they were doing investigative work. They say there's no evidence he belongs to a gang, but they say he has connections.
Wait, did y'all catch that? Wait a minute. Did you catch what they just said? There is no evidence that he belongs to a gang, but he's just a black guy pointing, so we'll just run with that. They just said there is no evidence of this man belonging to a gang. But we'll just run with this anyway. He's black, he's pointing, that nigga's in a gang.
To gang members. Quinn says the photo creates a safety problem for every officer in every gang unit in the metro.
And she's giving the gang something to flash around and say, look, we've got the mayor on our side. Even the mayor's with us. That's bad.
The mayor's office sent these photos taken the same day just over a week ago at the same Get Out the Vote event in Minneapolis. The mayor also declined our repeated requests for an on-camera interview. But she issued a statement about the photo that says, in part, the more supportive we all can be of people who are making better choices now, the better off we will all be in the future. A spokesperson concludes by saying, quote, she and the man in the photo are just pointing at one another, to which the head of the police union says...
Hold on, there's only so much of this nonsense I could take. But hold on, and the cops are going on and on about it. You see how the cops are? This is putting us in danger. You see how the cops keep saying that? The cops keep saying, this is putting us in danger, meaning this should justify us shooting them. We're in danger because they're pointing this unknown gang sign that we don't know about, so us killing them is justified.
She's been around long enough, she knows better.
John Delmonico is the president of the Minneapolis Police Federation.
When you have the mayor of a major city with a known criminal throwing up gang signs, that's terrible.
He says it crosses a line and puts police in a bad spot.
Is this something that could incite gang violence in the city? And for as critical as she can be with the cops, Is she going to support gangs in the city or cops?
Several sources in separate law enforcement agencies tell us they are extremely angry about the photo, and Michael Quinn says he understands why.
Well, they're going to be pissed. They've got to be angry about this.
That's enough, man. That's enough. But, dude, do you see how vicious and deceptive white supremacy is right now? This is why when I see black folks sitting up here talking about, well, we need to stop doing this. If you point your finger, as you see, no matter what you do, the white supremacists can flip that into whatever they want to flip it into. Yeah, exactly. The woman, she wants to have police officers wear cameras on their uniforms. So you see how slick that is? This is why, family, we're getting the Melanoid Nation Foundation popping. This is the very reason why we need that. Because for them to pull off some deceptive, low-down garbage like that, that's them showing you Negroes, y'all ain't gonna do nothing. We can do what we want to do and say what we want to say. Because you know why? As we speak, there are no organizations that will even speak out about that. That's why we're creating one. This is the very reason why. For example, they know better than to do something like that about the Jewish community because the ADL will be on their asses first thing in the morning. You understand? That's what the Melanoid Nation is going to be. That's going to be an advocacy group for black folks, for people of African descent. It's going to be an advocacy group for us. So when stuff like this comes out, we're on it. We're on their ass. Not only are we going to be on them, these stations, you start putting their sponsors out there like, hey, we start putting out articles, such and such sponsored this news story. They sponsored this news channel. Why is such and such sponsoring racism? You understand? That's how we got to start hitting them. When you put out stories like this, you need to get put out there like that. Majorly. When you put out a bullshit story about two people pointing, talking about he's a criminal throwing up a gang sign and all you're doing is pointing, you got to start hitting people up and putting them on out there. We don't have no organizations doing that right now. We don't have organizations doing that right now. You understand? And now, the reason why, one reason is because a lot of these organizations were founded by those in the dominant society to keep tabs on the black community. Yeah, some black folks, even looking at how deceptive this story is, a coon will sit up and say, well, he shouldn't have been a felon. He shouldn't have been committing no crime in the first place. They wouldn't have did him like that. A coon would sit up and say something like that. When the white supremacists see that, this just gives them the green light to keep going on and on and on with stories like this. That's a very dangerous story to put out. And we need an advocacy group to call this stuff out, and we need a central advocacy group that people can come to and send stories to. That's why we said, brothers and sisters, if you got experience writing, we need brothers and sisters to volunteer their writing services for the site. Email me, man, info@tariqelite.com. We need some brothers and sisters who are writers, because we're going to put out stories like this, calling it out every day, putting that shit out there, because people need to know what they're doing. People need to know what they're doing. Every single day, we're going to start putting these stories out there like that, and letting people know we're watching them. Because just like with that Holla Back, the reason why Holla Back had to apologize, because we were on their ass. We were on Holla Back's ass. And Holla Back, because and I credit a lot of my listeners for that. I credit a lot of my listeners for Holla Back having to apologize. Because y'all knew the game way before it came out. If you listen to this, you hear, you already knew the game. So when they start pulling the bullshit, everybody was on their ass. And then it got to the point where they couldn't deny it anymore. They couldn't deny the racial overtones they were having in these street harassment stories. And then they started to kind of pull back and start to apologize, which they weren't. They were planning to do all that racialized campaigning all along. But that's why it's so important. Yeah, they apologize, but still, I don't take them seriously though. But that just puts them on notice. Y'all not going to put out no propaganda pieces like that. You can't pull out you're not going to put out these propaganda pieces on us like that without getting called out. You understand? Mr. Sinister, okay, brother, you keep posting up this link, brother. Okay. Don't post the link up no more, Mr. Sinister. But this is why, man, the Melanoid Nation, man, it's going to be a centralized advocacy group, man. So we're going to have stories every day talking about some of these issues that's out there. Also, what we plan on doing, we plan on having food drives. Hopefully we can get something done by Thanksgiving. If not, we'll get some food drives done by Christmas. We're going to do a whole bunch of stuff. There's a lot of stuff we're going to get people involved in. And the Melanoid Nation site will be up this week, and I'm going to keep you guys posted on that. He said a fish fry. And support it. That's another thing, man. That's another thing, family. When we get something like this going, it's very important to support it on a grassroots level so that we can really take care of the needs of people in the community. That's the problem. Because the problem is we don't really have no real grassroots organizations. Okay, yeah, I'm about to F-boot, whatever your name is, man. I'm going to have to ban you, fam. F-boot, whatever your name is, man. Because you trolling right now, sir. Hold on, let me ban F-boot real quick. Because this dude is in here trolling. Hold on 1 second. Whatever his name is. FJF, whatever his name is. Okay. Where is this nigga's name? I can't see his name on here. And I want to ban him. And we got a lot of folks in. How many folks we got in here? Okay, how come it's not letting me ban your dumb ass? Okay. Okay, because I want to ban this dude. Okay, it's not letting me ban him for some reason. Chatting now. Some people chatting. Okay. Well, I'll ban him in a minute. Anyway, but like I was saying, and that's another thing with the Melanoid Nation site, and that's another thing, because we're going to have a think tank section for the site, and that's a pay part. You got to pay to get on the think tank, because we need to have like a think tank section where we chop up game and not have people trolling, not have people playing around, dividing the energy. That's another thing that's very important. Because as you see, every time we get to talking about something, the goofballs come out of nowhere trying to divert the energy. So with that, on the think tank message board for the site, that's going to be for very special people to really chop up some real good game. Well, we'll make the price. If you want to troll, it's going to cost you a lot of money to troll. You dig? And we'll still, call you out with the trolling. But yeah, that's going to stop a lot of the blatant white supremacists from, and that's going to stop a lot of the Butter Biscuit Brigade too. Because the Butter Biscuit Brigade, they always come out. When we start talking about something progressive, the Butter Biscuit Brigade is going to come out. Oh yeah, we're going to have a real screening process. We're going to screen people out. We're not going to have no BS. We're not going to have no BS. Real talk. That's a good idea, King Maurice. As a matter of fact, some members, we're going to have to actually talk to you on Skype. You understand what I'm saying? Certain people on certain levels, when we get the Melanoid Nation site popping, we're going to have to physically talk to you. We're going to get, if we can't sit down in person with you, certain people, we're going to have to talk to you on Skype to make sure, to see if you're not a low-key white supremacist or some coon or somebody. What's up, Ola? Shout out to Ola. And Ola's going to be one of the mods on the site too, because Ola is one of the board of directors for the Melanoid Nation. Aki is going to be on the board of directors. So people like that, we're getting real people on a grassroots level who's down for the cause. We really need that, man, because the thing is, we really don't. Black people don't have no grassroots organizations. We don't. No major ones, no big ones. We don't. When you think about it, we don't have any grassroots organizations. You got a lot of organizations that were put into power by the dominant society, and they said, okay, those are your leaders. You understand? This is why you get the Leon Jenkins and people like that. People, y'all know who Leon Jenkins is of the NAACP. This brother came out talking about when Donald Sterling made all those racist comments. He came out talking about, well, Donald Sterling, he's a good man. The Lord know his heart. If we do that, you guys have every right to abandon us. You understand? When people start doing that, you got every right to say, hey, this ain't the business. This is not the business. And like I said, we don't have any grassroots organizations. Oh yeah, they were going to give him an award. They were going to give him an award. What I think about Ben Carson running for president, is he going to run as a conservative? Because he doesn't have a chance in hell. What they do, the conservatives, they'll push a black person out there and back them only to a certain degree, just to say, hey, we're not racist. We just backed Ben Carson. He's black. Or they'll get a Cliven Bundy to say, I'm not racist. Look at this thing in this cowboy hat. He's black and he's with me. What's up? Who's calling?
Hey, what's going on, Tree, man? That's Ant. I'm calling out of Detroit, Michigan.
What's on your mind, Ant? Real quick.
Oh, yeah, man. I had this little female problem. I wanted to see if you could help me out with that.
We'll get that in a minute. Call back later for that, man. We'll get on that in a minute. I'm talking about something totally different. I don't want to change the energy. Yeah, I don't want to change the energy. Yeah, but like I was saying, we don't have a grassroots organization, and that's the problem. We don't have a grassroots organization. And because we don't have a grassroots organization, we don't have people out there who we can disperse and get stuff done. We're just scattered all over the place. We just have pockets of people doing this, pockets of people doing that. And a lot of it is disorganized. It's very impromptu. It's reactionary, everything we do. For example, man, like a lot of people are saying that the verdict for Darren Wilson might come down tomorrow. People are saying that possibly tomorrow they will say that Darren Wilson is not going to be charged, which we pretty much know by now he's probably not going to get charged. So they're gearing up out there in St. Louis Ferguson right now. Law enforcement sounds like they're gearing up right now. And there's no grassroots organization that's preparing for what might happen. Because if shit goes down, they might call martial law where nobody can go outside. You understand? And when nobody can go outside, where the black people, what are they going to eat? What are they going to drink? Where are they going to get food? You understand? So we need organizations in place to take care of those needs. We don't have any grassroots organizations taking care of that. And also another thing, black folks, and I'm talking to my listeners here, all my brothers and sisters listening, because we can't worry about everybody getting on board. We're going to have slackers, coons, jigaboo. We're going to have all these people out here bullshitting around. That's going to happen. That's going to happen. Hold on one second. Wait a minute. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second, fam. Because I want to see if I can make Ola a mod real quick in here. I want to see if I can make a mod, because I want to chop up game, and I don't want people in here playing around, and I can't chop up game and talk at the same time and then look at the screen. So let me see what I can do real quickly. If I can make Ola a mod. Let me restore the chat real quick. Hold on 1 second. And let me see, Ustream, their shit is real janky right now. I can't even see Ola's name on here. Ustream got to get it together. Ustream has to get it together, because I can't. I want to make Ola a mod right now. I can't. It's not showing me all the names. And I cannot make Ola a mod right now. But it's all good. Let me go back to my thing here. And y'all remind me of my point. I was making a point. I don't want to forget what I was saying. I don't want to forget what I was saying. I was trying to make a real good point. Let's show. Alex Jones. Oh, yeah, I saw that about Alex Jones. Yeah, their new system is garbage, yo. Their new system is garbage, and they really need to fix that. Yeah, they really need to fix their system. Eric, man, don't ask me that again. Brother, you done asked me that a million times, brother. I don't feel like going into my autobiography right now, brother. But yeah, I told y'all about Alex Jones a long time ago, man. He's been doing that whole white supremacist shtick. That whole white supremacist shtick, he's been doing that for a minute, man. So yeah, I'm not surprised with Alex Jones. Yeah, he's been on that bullshit. Okay, let me see. Ola 25, make mod. Okay, I made Ola. I think I made Ola a mod. Yeah, I think I just made Ola a mod. This system is real janky here. Let me see something. Now, what was I saying earlier? I was trying to make a point about something. Then I got sidetracked trying to get this janky Ustream system popping. But yeah, like I was saying, though, it's very important for us to get a grassroots thing going. And it's very important for brother, and I'm talking to the people right in here, it's very important for you to support that. Because when we get the Melanoid Nation thing popping, man, when we get the foundation popping, we need donations. We're going to need donations. It's just that simple. And we're not talking about a hell of a lot. I mean, just on a regular basis. If you can give a $5 a week, that's cool in the gang. Just anything you can give just to keep the momentum going. Because the problem is, a lot of black folks, we start making all these demands, but we don't want to put no money on nothing. So when Donald Sterling comes with a check, then niggas start getting S-curls and tap shoes. You dig? Because brothers ain't giving no money. So then I blame a lot of people in the community for the Leon Jenkins out there. I don't want to show up on TV with an S-curl talking about Donald Sterling ain't that bad with a plate of biscuits. I don't want to do that, and I'm not going to do that. You dig? So the thing is, man, brothers and sisters, you got to support that. You got to support that on a grassroots level regularly. You dig? Just like you support the church regularly, support this, the Melanoid Nation, every week. Support it so we can keep it going, so we can represent on a grassroots level. We just don't have a grassroots. We don't have it. We need that. We don't have a grassroots level. See, the conservatives, they get stuff done because, see, they got a grassroots organization. The Tea Party is the grassroots organization for the conservatives. That's what the Tea Party is. That's their grassroots organization. They can get organized overnight. You notice that? Online, they can get organized real quick. They can get a rally, march. They'll get some shit going real quick and all be on the same page. Real quick. And do the groundwork for the conservatives. And again, hell, like Claude Anderson said, the Klan was a grassroots organization for the conservatives back in the day, and even still now. The Klan was a grassroots organization. You dig? So the thing is, we gotta support our real grassroots organizations that's doing things and really challenging and calling out this systematic white supremacy that's demonizing us on a daily basis. The fact that they could put out stories about that Pointergate, saying that this dude's a gang member because he pointed his finger, that's them saying, you niggas are so weak, y'all ain't gonna do nothing. We can say whatever we want to say about you and you can't do anything. We got to be on their asses. We got to be in a position where we have a central location that can call them out. Most of the black publications that you see, especially online, because everything is online now, most of them are really white organizations with black faces. Most of the black websites that y'all go to, these are really low-key white organizations or white-owned websites, if you're going to be very honest. So they're not going to go all the way in. You understand? What's my thoughts on Rand Paul? My thoughts, look, man, I look at all of these people the same. Another thing black folks should do, and Brother Claude Anderson said this, black folks should not vote Democratic or Republican. This next election, because this is another thing. Yeah, Texas lady, real talk. But another thing, what we're going to have to stop doing, because it's election time right now, and they're starting to gear up for all the elections, the midterm elections and all that. So now everybody's starting to come around black folks singing and dancing with symbolic bullshit. They're coming around us grinning with Wu-Tang shirts on, just treating us like the same jigaboons they've been thinking of us as. Whenever black folks have been getting their brains blown out for the last year, for the last 4 years, but really heavily this year. So now when people come around us, hey, I want to go to the black church and eat some sweet potato pie with you people, we should be like, oh, hell no. Especially the Democrats, hell to the no. Like Claude Anderson said, we should pull out of both parties and form an independent black party. That's the smartest thing we can do right now. Form an independent black party, so now we don't have no guaranteed obligation to anybody. Oh yeah, they're going to start kissing the black babies and all that old bullshit. All of this symbolic stuff. And they know us. With us, all you got to do is come and pat us on the head and give us a biscuit. And we're happy. It's like a lot of black people are still afraid to say, hey, look, Obama hasn't really done anything. Some of the things Obama has done has been very disrespectful to black folks, saying that we need to just get over things and stop complaining. That's very disrespectful. Because he wouldn't tell other groups that. So we got to be in a position where we're going to be independent. So we got these people, this group of people, us, we're going to vote as a block, and we're not just going to give you our vote. We're not. We can change a lot of stuff just by doing that. Because all of these different political parties will say, okay, well, look, we'll do this. Okay, well, I want to see what they're doing. See, the thing is, we just give our votes to the Democrats. And again, the Republicans, they've always had this white supremacist vibe. But they've just been a little more open with it. The Democrats, too. The Republicans have just been more open about it. But the thing is, if we understand how to play the game, we can manipulate different groups. We can manipulate different groups and get what we want from different groups. That's the thing. Ola, man, this FJ dude, I can't ban the dude for some reason, and I think, hold on, wait a minute. Oh, I can ban this son of a bitch. Okay, I think I just banned him. Okay, I hope I just banned him. FJ. Alright. Let me see if I banned him. Okay. I think I banned him. Okay. Excuse me. Alright. main chat. Let me see. Okay, yeah, I went on and banned him. You got him too? Good. So we got him. There we go. We went on and banned him. I don't know, man. I got to get out there to Ohio. I would love to come out there to Ohio. Do I think Obama helped the economy? That I don't know, but I'm looking at black folks, and helping the economy overall is different from helping black people, because we've always been negatively affected by the economy, because economically people have used their economy against us. Because the black community, we have no economy to help. That's the problem. We got to get an economy popping. You dig? Let's see who this is. Like somebody calling overseas. What's up? Who's calling? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, who's calling?
This is Blue Man. Is this like Tariq show?
No, nigga, this is KFC. We got some honey barbecue wings on special. We got sweet potato pie, and we got some Thanksgiving Christmas ornaments that we got a gift pack. If you get a Dr. Pepper and a hot cinnamon apple pie, nigga. Well, who you think you calling, bro?
My bad, man. I thought that I got a lag. I'm on the East Coast. I'm sorry about that, Tariq, man. I'm sitting here looking like stupid right now. I'm sorry about that, man.
All right, what's on your mind, man? What's on your mind?
Oh, I was calling because I having like problems like with girls or whatever, and I'm like 21 right now, and I'm in college, and I'm a engineer, and we don't have like many girls like coming through, so sometimes I have problems, you know, trying to figure out whether girls like me or not, because I heard your show, like the hard choosing and soft choosing.
Yeah.
And sometimes I get like girls who like, they look at me when I'm not looking, but then they look away, so I don't know if that's like a hard choose or a soft choose.
Well, sometimes they might be suspicious of your ass. I don't know, because you weird me out a little bit. So they might be suspicious. They see you and they think you're going to steal something from them, nigga. I don't know, brother. I got to get to know more about you. But I've seen video of you, and you don't seem like you have a problem with getting the ladies. Nigga, is this you right here? Hold on.
Have you ever seen a beautiful, well-dressed woman dancing and getting down on the dance floor? Amazing, isn't it? Excuse me, miss. Where did you get this fabulous outfit from?
Well,
They always say they got it from Divine Rags at Wolf Chase Mall. Beautiful women. I'm fascinated always. I'm fascinated more by a well-dressed woman. Do you shop at Divine Rags? Maybe you too might fascinate me. Have you ever seen a beautiful, well-dressed woman?
Alright, this nigga. Okay, this dude just took my energy away right here. Good Lord. Man. Man. All right. But like I said, man, it's very important for us to get grassroots organizations, man. It's very important for us to get a grassroots organization. And again, Divine Rag, that's funny. He was a Nigerian player. My nigga he was keeping it real Mackish, wasn't he? All right. And don't forget, family, we're doing a lecture out here in Los Angeles. On next Saturday. Go to TariqLive.com for more information on that. That's TariqLive.com for more information about that. Again, that's TariqLive.com, ladies and gentlemen, for more information on that. I'm going to get out of here in a minute. I got a lot of stuff to do. And again, we want some brothers and sisters to volunteer as writers for the Melanoid Nation website. My email address is info@tariqelite.com. Email me your resume. We want people with experience. I don't want, niggas who just write on Instagram all day and you ain't got no experience. I want people with experience, because this is going to be some real professional stuff. Yeah, we might get a new Crispy Show episode next week. Yeah, we might get a Crispy episode next week. No, I'm not a Scientologist. But the people who put it together, they got connections there. So I'm not a Scientologist. No, I'm not. You know, niggas start coming up with conspiracy theories and stuff. I'm not a Scientologist. What did Jay-Z bought Armand champagne? Okay, I haven't heard of that. The Walking Dead is canceled tonight? Oh, this is my tat. Oh, there's my tats for those who haven't seen my tats before. Okay. Man. Oh, we got some very funny, crispy episodes coming up, dude. Oh, we got some hilarious, crispy episodes coming up. Some funny stuff, man. There's one that we got. I don't even want to tell some of the titles right now. Well, we got some funny ass, crispy episodes coming up, man. That's so hilarious. We got one, The Silence of the Coon. That's coming up. We got, you just gotta wait and see. We got so many funny ones coming up, man. So that's why I'm trying to space them out. Man. Man. Put the puppet on the soul train, the coon train. Man. Why do I think so many Americans voted Republican this election? When did you see the votes come in? That's a very good question. I'm going to tell you why. That's a very good question. I'm going to tell you why. My man Anthology asked a very good question. And I'm going to tell he asked a very good question. He said, why do I think so many people, so many Americans voted Republican? And I'm going to tell you why. The reason why a lot of people are voting Republican now is whenever, look, let me break it down like this. Conservatives are trying to conserve something. What are they trying to conserve? What are they trying to conserve? They're trying to conserve the old way of life. They're trying to conserve white supremacy. And whenever that is threatened, a lot of times they always start voting conservative in droves. In the 1960s, when you had all of the civil unrest in the 1960s, with Dr. King, Malcolm X, the riots, it was a lot of civil unrest. So that was threatening white supremacy. And what happened is that you had a lot of conservatism as a backlash to that. A lot of people in the dominant society started to vote conservative. Nixon and all these people popped up, and that created this whole neoconservative thing. You understand? Because people wanted to go back to holding on to the old way of life, which is white supremacy. They don't want black progress. Black progress has always been a threat. Now, when you have riots on television, Ferguson, you have the Trayvon Martin, there's a lot of people are antsy. There's a lot of unrest. Black people are complaining. Black people are starting to demand equality. You understand? Now there's that backlash. Black people are like, hey, we don't want to get killed by cops. We want to be treated equally. So now that whole conservative thing is coming back again. That conservative thing is coming back again. That's why they keep promoting these riots and Ferguson, and they really hyping that up, because that's going to make a lot of people vote conservative, which is to bring the old way of life back. And the conservatives, they're like, look, we want more policing. We want no affirmative action, which affirmative action don't help black folks anyway. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that exit poll in Carolina, was that real? I saw that. I saw that exit poll. I thought that was kind of a joke because a lot of people circulate jokes and stuff on the internet and like fake stuff. So is that real, that exit poll they had talking about how do you feel about black people and all that stuff? Wow. Because some of this stuff, man, the white supremacy is coming back so blatantly. Man, sometimes you don't know if it's real or it's a joke now. So it's like, it's insane right now. It's confirmed by, wow. So again, man, this is why we got to start hitting this thing up on a grassroots level, man. We got to come to terms and say, hey, man, some of these so-called civil rights organizations, they failed us. They have failed us. That's a very tough pill to swallow, man. They failed us and they've been bought out and I'm going to blame to a certain degree well, not too much because a lot of people on the grassroots level, it's like the chicken and the egg. They're like, why should I donate to this organization? And they're not really doing anything anyway. You understand? So it kind of goes both ways, but I say with black people on a grassroots level, we got to support grassroots organizations that's really out here trying to put in the work. We got to really support that, man. And again, it don't take all of us. It just takes a core group. And when the core group starts to do it, other people will start latching on and wanting to be a part of it. But we got to support that. Again, when we get this Melanoid Nation thing popping, man, that should be supported every single week. And that should be the go-to entity for issues that affect black people. And now this ain't no minority organization, by the way. I was very specific because again, I've had top lawyers help put this thing together with me, dotting the I's and crossing the T's to make sure everything is straight, everything is cool, and also just not one face is a part of it because it's a thing that all of us should be a part of, that we can have a code of conduct, and the code is the leadership. The code is the leadership. That's why I want to get some brothers and sisters who are talented writers. So if one person is out the mix, something happens to one person, things can still get down. Things can still go on. You understand? Yeah, the recall for Mike thing, that's still popping because, again, that got people out there to vote, and that got people thinking politically. You understand? That got people thinking politically. So that's still in effect, and there's still more elections coming up. So that we got people to vote. You understand? And this is why, we're doing the Melanoid Nation thing, because now we can really get it popping. Because my thing is this, man. It's very hard to try to figure out who to get behind, because again, I've given thousands of dollars of my own personal money to different organizations, hoping they can do this and do that, and I'm like, okay, you don't know who to trust out here, who's going to do whatever, because you don't know who's bought and paid for, you don't know who's on the coon train, you just don't know. So with us, we get down, we say what we do and we do what we say. And, we got a pretty good, strong trust record. People know that we're going to do what we say we're going to do. You understand what I'm saying? And, we're not going to say one thing and then flip it. And no, we're not doing that coon jive ass nonsense. No, we're going to do what we say what we're going to do. Yeah, the new chat room is kind of whack. I don't like the way it's set up. But again, all we just ask is people support what we're doing. People support it. We're going to represent for the community on a grassroots level, and we just need the communities to support that. We need the community to support that. That's it. Just like everything else is supported, support that, because we're going to be representing. Again, we don't want to have none of the representatives get an S-curl standing next to Donald Sterling grinning. And the reason why organizations have to do that is because that's where all their money is coming from. You understand? And the dominant society understands that. And we want to be in a position where we say, hey, if you give a donation, major corporation or whatever, which is cool, they want to give a donation to help out what we're doing, that's fine, but they're not going to give a donation and we're going to start talking coon shit. If they want to buy some cooning, that's not going to happen. You dig? Because a lot of times that's what happens. They give you some money and make you tap dance. You dig? Because, see, the thing is, what they should have did with Sterling, if you want to play the game on a political level, what they should have done with the Jerry Curl Coons, they should have been like, okay, Donald Sterling, give us your donation because you fucked up. Give us your donation, and then what we're going to do, we're going to get that money, a couple of $1 million, and we're going to start giving microloans to a lot of these brothers and sisters who are trying to start businesses. We ain't got to tell him that, but we get the money and do that with the paper. That's how you get down. And then you flip that for everybody, not for more damn curl activator. You get that and then you say, okay, let's get some of them resources that we should have been getting anyway. And let's flip that and start giving brothers and sisters microloans. Not just we'll buy a bunch of tap shoes. You know what I'm saying? There's ways to flip this thing and do it the right way. Paula Deen too, exactly. Exactly. That's how you do it, Paula Deen. Cats don't know the game, so you gotta know how to work this shit. With Paula Deen, instead of sitting up here talking about well, Paula Deen, she ain't nothing wrong. All you getting is a pat on the head. No. Let Paula Deen come down and talk to us. Look, Paula Deen, Melanoid Nation, excuse me, Steve Harvey. Paula Deen, Melanoid Nation would like to talk to you. So you're trying to redeem yourself. We can help you with that. We need about $5 million of them dollars. And what we're going to do with those dollars, we're going to help brothers and sisters get microloans because we're set up to do that. We're set up to give people microloans with our organization, which we plan on doing anyway. And we need some of that because you've hurt the community, and we need some of that to kind of redeem some things in the community because the negative perception has caused an economic deprivation within the community. You understand? That's how you do that. Don't just sit around these people trying to get pats on the head. You dig? No, you make that shit a business. You make it a business, and that's how you do it. Exactly, Chi-Town. Chi-Town is right on the same page. Chi-Town, give my man Chi-Town a round of applause. We're on the Chi-Town African is right on the same damn page. Chi-Town African, he just made a comment. That brother is right here with me. That's what I'm saying. We need brothers like him in the think tank because we're on the same page. That's how we're talking. Because that's how they do us like that, Jay. That's how you do it, man. Instead of sitting up here trying to get a damn butter biscuit. Fuck out of here. Black folks don't know how to leverage anything, man. We just give shit. We give stuff away. We give our vote away. We give a lot of folks you see on TV cooning. Some get money. Some just do it just to be on TV. you understand that? Some black folks get the cooning just to be up under some white people cooning. They don't even know how to work that. They don't even know how to work that. Dude, but I'd get that paper and be like, okay, brothers and sisters, I need people to start writing business proposals. If you get a tangible business thing popping, we're giving everybody $5,000 a loan to get your business off the ground. I'd flip that money so fast and start dishing it out. That's how you got to get down. Oh yeah, Amos Wilson is the truth. That brother, Amos Wilson, was the truth, man. That brother was the truth. Nigga, don't you? Did you say live? Okay, he's trolling. Okay, I was about to say. Somebody said you're trolling. I was about to answer this Delkey dude. Okay, he's just trolling. Okay, okay. He was like libs the more racist or whatever. Okay, I don't play that liberal conservative race. All of them practice white supremacy. They just playing good cop, bad cop. That's real talk. Much respect, Virtuous. But yeah, we got to get on a grassroots level to the point where stories like I ran that I played, that story in Minnesota, you wouldn't think about doing that to another group of people. They wouldn't think about doing that to another group of people. Because all these other groups of people, they have advocacy groups that will call them out. They wouldn't do that to the Hispanic community. They wouldn't do that. There's all types. Abel Langora, Edward James Olmos, they'll be doing a press conference first thing tomorrow. Because, see, these people are really down for what goes on in their community. I respect Edward James Olmos. I used to see him you go to a damn Chipotle and Taco Bell opening. He's right there. He's everywhere. Anything to do with Hispanic, Edward James Olmos was there. So he was real heavy in the community doing stuff. We don't have that with a lot of our entertainers and athletes no more. We rarely have that. Only a few. Especially with rappers, and they've deliberately got rappers who are not conscious. That's why I got so much respect for people like Nas and David Banner. David Banner's new song, Evel Knievel, that shit is hot. A lot of folks who have been asking me about that song because I played it on last week's show. And that Evel Knievel song is hot. If you guys go to iTunes and get David Banner's new song, Evel Knievel, that joint is a hot one. And he's spitting some real talk on there. Yeah, Jim Brown is that dude. Yeah, brothers like that, they were he's old school. That's how brothers got down back in the day. They were true to the game. You dig? And they purposely get rappers who are not conscious. And what's funny, they'll deliberately try to ask them conscious questions, just like they did with Young Thug. They tried to ask him about Ferguson, and he choked up. He straight choked up. They were like, Young Thug, what do you think about Ferguson? And I'm like, he didn't know what to say. We just got money. I got jewelry and money. He didn't know what to say. Oh, yeah. Oh, and that's the thing. With us, a very bad habit we get into, we try to throw all black folks in the room and have them all discuss certain issues that a lot of black folks are not very well versed in fleshing out. This is why you need certain think tanks. This is why you need certain think tanks. You need certain groups of black folks. And I'm not talking that talented 10th stuff that W.B. Du Bois was talking about, because they thought that only 10% of black people should just handle all black issues. No. They were on that elitist boule stuff. I'm talking about for certain strategies, there should be a group of black folks who are more versed in that, to think things out and to strategize and to kind of peep things for what they are and see what we can do to flesh things out to work in our favor. You need a group of people for that, and you need a group of soldiers too. You understand? So we need people to work in concert with each other, but not do the exact same thing. Again, and I like Young Thug. Young Thug can do some other things, but talking to him about a serious topic like Ferguson, you don't put the camera in his face. We're the only people who do that. They're not going to go to Honey Boo Boo's family and talk about the deficit. You understand? That's why we need our think tanks for that. And like Brother Claude Anderson said, they got think tanks, the white supremacists, they got think tanks in the conservative groups and all that. These people got think tanks to come up with ways to disenfranchise black people. I think the Koch brothers, they got a think tank called the Cato I think CATO, the Koch brothers. You guys read up about them. And they got these think tanks that, and other groups, there's other think tanks that come up with ways to disenfranchise black folks. When last time I talked to us, Nas texted me, I think last week. He was out of town somewhere. Now he just hit me up. Now sometimes he'll just hit me up randomly. Just say, hey man, shout out to you. You're doing good things out here. Real good dude, man. That's a real, Nas is one of the realest dudes in the game. The Cato Institute. Mosen, that's real. That's it. The Cato Institute. That's it. So that's a think tank that they have, and they come up with ways to disenfranchise us and to keep us in certain positions. So we got to understand the game, and we got to be in a position to do that on our own. And sometimes everybody can't be in the room talking about certain things because that's not their position. You understand? Because sometimes when we start talking about something serious, somebody come in there just saying shit just to be saying shit. Man, that's not how you do. That's not how you get down. We need certain people for certain things, just like a basketball team. You get a basketball team, you got the players on the court, then you have the coaches. Then you have the mathematicians who's on the side calculating things. So you don't have the players in the same room with the mathematicians because the mathematicians are doing their thing on another level. Even though everybody needs each other, they need each other. You don't have everybody in the room trying to discuss the same strategies. You understand? Just like the front office, they got a whole different thing that they do. A point guard shouldn't be talking to the people in the front office about what to do on the court and all that stuff or what they should be doing in the front office. So we got to understand that there are positions that we have to play. There's certain positions we have to play. I haven't heard that Ted Nugent interview. I haven't heard that. How to avoid being infiltrated. And that's another thing. Because we got to understand that. We got to understand that there are going to be people trying to infiltrate us. There's going to be coons out there trying to infiltrate. But my thing is this. We're trying to get justice. So that's nothing that we should really hide about. Nothing that we should really be secretive about. We're just trying to get justice. So we do have to watch the people who are saboteurs because when you read the FBI files about people like Dothard, Perry, and there's a video of this guy and I talk about him a lot, but when you read some of the documents, and I've studied the documents and the articles about this guy from the 1970s, this Dothard Perry, for those who don't know, he was an FBI informant, and they sent him to infiltrate the Black Panthers, and he burned down the Watts Community Center in the 70s. That was a real popular place for a lot of black people to go and just, that was a very culturally significant place. A lot of entertainers would donate musical instruments and a lot of dancers came out of there. The West Coast dance style came from the Watts Community Center. It was called the Watts Writers Club, I think. What was the actual name of it? I think it was called the Watts Writers Club, something like that. But Don Campbell-Lock and all the dudes who created locking and pop, all that stuff, the locking dances came from there. That place was that culturally significant. And that kept a lot of people off the streets too. And it was a black-owned organization. They were getting donations from a lot of people and all that. And it kept people on the straight and narrow, teaching people arts and writing. It was a great place, man. FBI had this nigga burn that shit down, dude. FBI had this nigga burn that shit down. That's how cold and nefarious they are. And his ass, he felt so bad, he started snitching on himself. The dude who did it, Dothard Perry, he felt horrible behind that because that's the Watts Writers Workshop, yeah. And he felt, that shit was eating him up to have to do that. So he started kind of telling on himself. And then he got scared because back then with the agents, when they were done with you, they were done with you. they charge you to the game. You just disappear. And let me tell you how deep the FBI is. The FBI would get their agents, and this is how you don't know who's an agent, because Dr. Perry was saying that the FBI was telling him, go have sex with that person and start a relationship with that person. So the FBI were sending people to have real relationships with people. So you up here fucking somebody, and you banging them, you thinking they down, and this is an agent you banging. This is an agent provocateur. And this dude talked about that. And he talked about how, for one, it was a Black Panther trial going on. The FBI wanted him to have sex with the lawyer's sister or something to kind of infiltrate and get some information. They wanted him to have sex with like the lawyer or somebody for the Black Panthers, but he didn't like the chick. He said the chick was a beast, so he didn't want to do it. And that's another thing. Go look up some of this guy. He did an interview in 1977, I think, or 78. But I did a lot of research on their magazine articles that he gave back in the early 70s talking about a lot of this stuff. And some of the stuff is in the FBI files. But his name is Dr. Perry. And that nigga disappeared, by the way. Don't nobody know what happened to him. That nigga disappeared off the face of the earth. Nobody knows what happened to him. That's the thing. Nobody knows what happened to him. Yeah, he was on the program Like It Is with Gil Noble. That show has some great guests on it, man. He said CIA got an entire Smithsonian library just dedicated to African Americans. Yeah, I believe that. But yeah, man, when I was reading some of his stuff, dude, the FBI was sending people down to have sex with folks to earn their trust. That's how deep it is, man. So you don't know who's an agent. Nigga, one of your kids could be an agent. It'd be funny, my son TJ, he's an infant. He's reporting back. Gaga goo goo. That nigga's in the kitchen. He has a gun under the sink. Gaga goo goo. So you never know, man. You never know. Yeah. That Richard Aoki, he was an informant. Yeah, and that's another thing, Sinister. When you got dudes talking about, hey man, I got a whole bunch of guns and all that, those are the dudes who are the agents. He was the agent. That's talk. That's real talk. Yeah, land and precious metals too. Land and precious metals. Absolutely. Because they'll say, okay, we'll give you our reparations. Here's $500,000 for everybody. And then the next week, the dollar crash. They'll crash that dollar so fast, come up with a new currency. Man. Anyway, y'all, let me get up out of here. I got stuff to do. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to join me next week in Los Angeles. Out here, go to TariqLive.com for more info. Get your crispy shirts at cafepress.com/crispypuppet. And I'm going to holler at you guys next week. And don't forget, man, if you are brothers and sisters who are experienced writers, you're down to volunteer stories to the Melanoid Nation website that we got coming up this week. Email me at info@TariqElite.com, ladies and gentlemen, with your resume. All right, I'm a holler.